I'm Dr. Barry, licensed psychologist, and here I share legal and entertainment news from a psychological perspective. So I was just hanging out, just strolling YouTube, and I saw that Sarah Boone, she is up to her old stuff again. So we are going to watch. I have not finished watching everything because I wanted to share this with you all. The full link, because I'm going to skip over Court TV's analysis. Um, and we are just going to watch what happened in court.
Judge, I've obviously not seen the letter. Ms. Boone is correct. She has.
So I guess Sarah Boone, I think she's written another letter to the judge. So this is her eighth attorney. Now, some of her attorneys had to bow out because they had represented the victim in her case, because there was a history of her filing domestic violence charges against him. And so this is just totally just like, and I think there's a new judge. I could be wrong. I thought there was a different judge. I think one judge got out of this finally. You live close. Wow. Wow. That is wow. And so this incident happened a while ago. And I think Court TV might put it up exactly what the offense date is. She's been in there for a while, and I don't know if these are stall tactics for her. I have no clue, but let's watch it together. Right now, her attorney is talking, and we were wondering how she might do with a female attorney versus a male attorney. I am pretty sure Sarah Boone appears to have some personality disorder characteristics, if not a full blown disorder. Like she seems to have some significant personality characteristics where she doesn't play well with others. And based on the title of this video, it sounds like Sarah is asking the to please be nice to me, or maybe asking the court to please be nice to her. I don't know.
Has walked out of the last two visits when I've tried to review things with her. Just so the court knows, I've spent probably 20 hours, a little bit more, a little bit less, with Miss Boone. She has lots of lists, lots of questions. In reviewing the court file, she was distressed previously about having access to her lawyers. I have taken collect phone calls from her that are at my expense. JAC doesn't reimburse you because I think it's important for clients to have access. I have
Hang on, please. No one's interrupted you this morning, Ms. Boone.
As I said, I've spent over 20 hours going through her questions, going through her lists. When I tried to update her with regard to the depositions that I took recently, she opted to exit the jail conference. When I tried to review some things with regard to discovery as to things I wanted to make sure she was aware of, she walked out. She has asked me repeatedly for a copy of some medical records. Based on the discovery I got from the previous attorneys, one of the copies of those medical records had her.
Let me know if my sound is okay. I switched it on the back end, so let me know if my sound is a little better. Somebody said, how can this lawyer talk with the judge about her client? So her client has written a letter to the judge. So this is something that Sarah Boone does on a regular basis. She has written multiple letters to the judge complaining about previous attorneys. And so right now, so she is having to speak because Sarah Boone has filed something public with the judge. And Sarah, she's going to say something. And right now, this attorney hasn't broken privilege. So she hasn't said anything about privilege. The attorney, I think, is trying to say what she's done. And part of that is to protect herself. And let me know if there's any allegedly. So Yes. I believe Sarah admitted to zipping him up or no, she didn't zip it. The whole hide and seek explanation never worked for me because when somebody, because she said she zipped him in the suitcase when they were playing hide and seek. And that's not how hide and seek works. And so
her handwritten notes. So she had a copy given to her previously. She'd reviewed them with previous attorneys. I sent her a new copy. Some of the things that
you probably will.
she thinks are important from a lawyer perspective, perhaps I don't attach the same importance to, and you try to explain that to a client. You know, I know the court's in a difficult position, but at this point, we're at that impasse of if she walks out of every conference that I have with her, I'm not sure what that says about the attorney-client relationship.
Ma'am, you said there was something else that you had other than a 58-page submittal or letter. What other information is it that you're seeking to have me take a look at?
So she hasn't submitted it yet. It sounds like Sarah Boone has a 58-page letter that she wants to submit to the court, likely complaining about this attorney. I'll say that again. So the judge has not accepted the letter yet. She can't file something because I don't think she's letting her attorney see it yet. And because she's represented, the judge has to be very careful about what that, because she has counsel and she's trying to submit something outside of the presence of her counsel. And so Sarah's going to talk.
Look at.
It's things that I've been working on in the meantime. It's things that she likes to tell me is not necessary, but I know for a fact it is necessary. She likes to, in quotes, put things to rest all the time and constantly tells me I'm not having this conversation with you. So I'm not going to waste my time, and I, being in jail, have supposedly abundant amounts of. She's not going to waste my time because she's not going to explain something to me. And I have taken it upon myself to explain it to myself because she refuses to do so. I don't understand what it is that she has against me. I have told her from day one that her snotty attitude was inappropriate, and I try very hard to bear with her and her attitude. I don't know what it is that I'm doing wrong to her, but I feel that her attitude has equaled prejudice, which is not in my favor, especially considering she's supposedly represented my life.
Whoa. So, whoa. If you need to adjust the sound a little, because I had to turn the sound up a little. I might be frozen. We'll see. Oh no. Y'all know. I'm streaming from the office. Sorry about that, y'all. Streaming from the office. It sometimes does silly. And so let me get the video back where it was, and we will go from there. I am not surprised. So it sounds like she doesn't like the way that her attorney is talking to her. It sounds like that's her biggest complaint. She doesn't like the way that her attorney is talking to her. And she's probably just being honest and saying, this is the best defense. This is my goal, or this is how I think we should do things. She's probably saying things that Sarah doesn't like. That's what I think might be happening. All right, let's keep going with this.
Specifically.
Okay, so I'll fast forward a little bit. We were a little bit into this.
Keep going down. There's other ways to win, and in more than one way. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not saying that I'm trying to remove her. I'm just trying to ask you, please, forgive me for having to ask you for this. If you could please let her know, please, to just be nice to me and have a welcoming.
Let her know to please be nice to me. She's asking the judge to tell her attorney to be nice to her.
Attitude and things will probably change, and I will not get up and I walk out. please don't lie to me. Please don't give me half-truths. And
What instances?
She is now claiming that her attorney has lied to her and given her half-truths. So I've done another video talking about possible diagnoses with Sarah. It does sound like there was a history of significant substance, particularly alcohol. It sounds like there was a history of significant substance abuse. She seems to have this need to be heard and this need to be seen and understood. She either loves you or she hates you. And so and she just seems to have a very, very fragile ego. 3 of Cats, I will find the link and put it in the chat before the end of this video. I think I've done 2 videos on her. I will go back and find those real quick.
Is where there's been falsities or lies that have been told to you by Ms. Cashman. Can you give me an example?
my biggest one, Your Honor, is for me being here ongoing 5 years, no one has ever bothered to try to get me a bond.
What's the lie? You said that she has lied to you. What is the lie?
The process of getting a bond. She lied to my brother.
Okay, so she's trying to say this attorney. So this attorney, I think, has been on the case since maybe December, maybe. I think maybe December. Maybe December. I could be wrong. Becca, I was trying to talk around that one. She seems to have this I love you, I hate you, this fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, this need to be understood, but in a way that is just, and combined with possibly a little bit of narcissism. We'll see. I believe she's had a psychological evaluation, and if we ever get to trial, I hope we get to hear about any diagnoses with her. All right, so let's keep going.
My brother, in regards to telling him that he would need to come down to the courthouse to have multiple photographs taken for documentation, and he would have to bring the security information deeds to his house.
Oh my, there's so much to say here.
All right, so they talk back and forth, and then they go back to court. So I'm going to skip their talking and go back to court.
Else. And then it turns into all these other different stories of why she won't do or why she has said certain things, and all this changes and it mutates after I ask her for certain things, not just for the bond, but for other things also.
Okay, well, let's focus on the bond issue, because
getting bond.
you said that she's lied to you, and what you've told me so far, none of that is inaccurate.
So how is it
Not gonna
though,
get mine.
because I don't have any experience prior to this, I don't know the process of getting a bond other than what I have read, and it's just for her to do a bond, a motion for a bond hearing. But I didn't know that anyone, all of the other inmates, even officers, have ever said that they've had to do that process in order to have photographs taken and documented and use proofs and visit to his house. He's not posting my bond, which I told her a million and one times, but she still spooked him by asking by him something that he's going to have to, and it would threaten his security clearance considering he's in this service, the military. So she totally deterred me from having my brother's address in order for me to have a motion for a bond. No one else has even bothered to even ask me for one, and I will be honest with you, and the court, I know for a fact that however sky high my limit would be for my bond to receive, I know for a fact unless my fans would set up GoFundMe pages or God's will or however else it is he planned on for me to have it paid, if at all, my point is to utilize my rights to have a bond. And with the information I have included in here to you, for the amount of saturation of publicity, there's nowhere that I could go even if I were to be at a close flight risk because of the amount of information that everybody already knows about me, what I look like, and what I eat apparently, and so many other things. There's nowhere I could go if I were to even think about being at flight risk. It's just the fact that I would like please to have the bond so I can say that I actually achieved something.
Okay, we're going to just bond and
Okay, so she wants bond. I don't think the judge is going to give her bond. Okay, let's skip ahead.
Concern for him, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. But, Judge, I can't spend all my time defending what I'm doing and at the same time be effectively preparing a case for trial. In these situations, I know it puts the court in a very difficult position. As I see it, Ms. Boone has a couple options. Number one, she can ask you to represent herself. She has the right to. You have a Feretta hearing.
Her last attorney said no attorney will ever be good enough. Her last attorney said no attorney will ever be good enough for her. That is what her last attorney said in his statement. All right. Hey, welcome. So this is Sarah Boone. It's a case out of Florida. Sarah Boone is charged with I think she's charged with murder. I could be wrong, but she's charged in the death of her boyfriend. This is the suitcase trial. I'm plugging in my computer while we talk. There we go. And she is on lawyer number 8. Now, I think only 3 lawyers have actually withdrawn from the case. Some of the lawyers had conflicts. So she hasn't truly went through 8 lawyers, but she frequently writes letters to the judge, and she currently has a 58-page letter that she wants to give to the judge complaining about her attorney, and she wants the judge to tell the attorney to be nice to her. That's where we are so far. Thank you so much. I am fascinated by this case. I'm not sure if she'll ever make it to trial. And the sound is very bad on the other side. I'm at my office and I'm not able to boost it. I have the link to the original court feed if you want to go to the original court feed. All right, let's go.
Hearing and determine whether she's capable. The court then has to address the issue of whether it's appropriate to appoint standby counsel. Obviously, since she believes not a word that I say after 40 years of doing criminal defense, I'm probably not the right lawyer for that. The other thing is she gets one last lawyer, either works or doesn't. And sometimes, unfortunately, the court gets put in a position that you have to have that conversation with a client that you don't, if you want your counsel of choice, then you need to hire your counsel of choice, and everyone can certainly do that. And if you're indigent, the court can only go through this so many times with Ms. Boone coming to the court, and there ending up being irreconcilable differences, such that the counsel that you have appointed can't move forward and provide effective assistance to counsel.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm inclined to go ahead and figure out.
Patricia Cashman is right. She has an obligation.
I'm going to fast forward through this part to get to what the judge said. Okay. They might cut it out. I'm not sure if they cut out what the judge said. Let's get to this part.
Last week of my period is the first full week of August, and it starts again on the last full week of August. So we could set it then, but I know that you have trial case management with Judge Marquez on the 20th or the 21st of June, which may impact that. So,
And I have a trial certain with Judge Harris August 5th, and
as do I.
August seems a bit difficult for me.
For Mr. Robbins, okay. So the options that I see it are, we could specially set this for the week of August 26th, or we set it for the trial period beginning September 30. The hiccup with that first week of September 30 is we have a court holiday on Thursday, October the 3rd, which would limit us to a 4-day trial period, which I don't believe is not sufficient. So that would take us to either October 7 or October 14. So based on the court's trial calendar, that's what I've got available: August 26th, October 7, or October 14.
I think the October 7 or October 14th is more realistic, Judge. I know that Mr. Cacciatore has other trials too, and other things on other judges' pretrial dockets and those things.
We're specially set in July and in September. Mr. Cacciatore?
I think we can, I think October 7th is fine.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to specially set this matter for the second week of the September 30 trial period, beginning Monday, October 7th. We will set this matter for trial case management on the 24th of September, right? On September 24 at 9 a.m. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do you at 1:30 in the afternoon.
It's Tuesday, September 20th.
Tuesday, September 24 at 1:30 in the afternoon for our trial case management trial.
Okay, so it looks like it sounds like she might talk again, so I'll keep playing this.
Date certain on October the 7th. Deputy, if you could please grab the 2 packages of submittals from Ms. Boone. Oh, I thought it was 2 different envelopes, ma'am. Okay. I will review that, and after the review, the court will either issue an order or set this matter for hearing based on what it is that's been presented by Ms. Boone. Mr. Cacciatore, anything else we need to address this morning, sir?
Not to say,
Ms. Cashman, anything else we need to address?
Not that I'm aware of at this time, Judge.
Ms. Boone, is there anything else you need to bring to my attention at this time?
I'm grateful for your time. I was forgiven for having to utilize it. But I really do hope that you review thoroughly what it is that I'm asking for from my attorney who's supposed to be representing me for the trial that's supposed to be happening in October, late September. So if you could please, I don't understand how I'm supposed to be able to go into a trial when I don't have what it is to probably defend myself.
Ma'am, I've asked for your submittals. I will be reviewing them.
Grateful.
All right, thank you. All right, y'all, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks, Judge.
All right. So it sounds like at the end of this, she's going to keep her same attorney. She was not happy with, I guess, the way her lawyer was talking to her. She's asked the lawyer to be nicer to her. She wants a bond hearing. And the lawyer, it looks like he'll be covering this at 1 p.m. Eastern or something. Or I think, did somebody give the time? Somebody gave the time. Please, the lawyer does a phenomenal breakdown of the law aspects of this. I talk about the psychological aspect. And as a psychologist, it seems like nothing is ever good enough for her. And I wasn't sure if these were stalling tactics. The trial date is still going to be set for October. It sounds like she has walked out of meetings with her attorney. Her attorney put on the record that she has accepted she's accepted collect calls from Sarah Boone. The last time Sarah Boone said that her attorney, none of his numbers worked. There have always been complaints about the amount of communication that she's given. And it does sound like she is not going to represent herself at this time. Welcome, Dog Mom. So glad that you were able to be here. Justice. And so I believe he says George. It looks like Jorge to me, but I believe he pronounces it George. Justice for George and his family. I 58 pages. And sometimes when she files it publicly, we get to see them. So we will see if the 58 pages are published where everybody can see them. So Patricia Cashman is her current attorney, and it sounds like she has a lot of experience. It sounds like she's likely trying to set some boundaries with Sarah and let her know what might happen and what might not. I believe Sarah's been incarcerated since the incident, February 2020. I don't believe she's ever had bond, and so she's been in jail awaiting trial since 2020. Wow. Oh, I really feel like it's a delay, like it's a delay tactic. Her handwriting is beautiful. I've seen some of the letters she's written. My handwriting is atrocious. Her handwriting is beautiful. Um, and that's where her attorney was like, "Hey, if you want to hire private counsel, hire private counsel." But I think even if she had private counsel, I don't think that would be enough either. I don't think anything would ever be enough. And she's trying to say that she's not a flight risk. That's up to the court. And also sometimes based on the crime, because she could be a risk to other people in her life. And so I think the judge is holding her there until this court situation is resolved. My heart breaks for Jorge and his family as they've kind of been put through this. I will be going live tomorrow to talk about the sorry about that, Fiona Harvey. I'll be going live tomorrow to talk about her lawsuit against Netflix. My allergies are just started to attack me all at the same time. So we'll be doing that tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.